You know, in cartoons, when they show stark white bones, long in the middle, with two little clubs on each end? How about the classic, iconic dog bone? You might be inclined to think that this is what all bones in your body look like. Long, white, shiny, and clubbed. Now, would you be surprised to find out that popular media has lied to you? Yeah, I didn't think you would be. Turns out, scientists are the actual authority on human bodies. And they have shown us that we have more than one type of bone in our body. In fact, we have 5 types. And in this video, we'll go through each of the 5 types of bones with examples of where you can find them in your body. Well, I really hope to get under your skin. Quite literally, actually. First, let's go over some quick facts about bones. Bones are actually living tissues. And as living tissue, bones grow as we grow, but can also shrink in size or wear down over time, especially with different diseases. Bone is made up of 3 main components: collagen, hydroxyapatite, and water. Collagen provides the bone with some flexibility. Hydroxyapatite provides the bone with the rigid structure that bones are known for. And well, water is water. It's everywhere in our bodies. Now that we know what bones are made of, let's dive into what kinds of bones there are. Now, this is a tricky question because there is 100 different ways to categorize bones. Okay, maybe not 100, but definitely a few. If we're talking about types of bone tissue, for example, there are 2 different ones. The first type of tissue, compact bone, which is the outside of the bone, the white, shiny cartoon bone that you know and love, except that it's not that white or shiny or cartoon for that matter. Compact bone gains its name from the fact that it is dense, heavy, and hard with squished or compacted structural units called osteons. The second type of bone tissue is called cancellous or spongy bone. Think honeycomb meets dish sponge meets sponge candy, and you've got a great mental picture of cancellous bone. Cancellous bone is much lighter than compact bone and significantly less dense. Red bone marrow can be found inside of cancellous bones in the honeycomb-like cavities. And yeah, red bone marrow is a very important tissue that contains blood stem cells. And those cells eventually become key components of your blood, such as red or white blood cells or platelets. Okay, so we know what bones are made of, and we know the 2 types of bone tissue. But before we move on to the different types of bones, I need to ask you this. Why don't skeletons like parties? Anyone? Well, skeletons don't like parties because they have no body to dance with. No? Not even a chuckle? Well, fine, let's get on with what you came here for in the first place. Now, you might be thinking, sure, we have 206 of them, but aren't they all just bones? Well, I guess you're not wrong, but you definitely could be more right. There are many different types of bones, 5 to be precise, with different purposes in the body. Some bones provide structure and protection. Some help us move, and some are just downright weird. Now let's get into this. The first type of bone we're going to look at is flat bones. Flat bones are the first responders of the skeletal system. They are here to serve and protect. Flat bones surround and protect some of the most precious cargo, your organs, while also providing a nice place for your muscles to attach. You can find flat bones all over your body, saving your most vital organs from getting squished in everyday life. Flat bones in the skull, like the occipital bone and frontal bone, protect your brain, and your ribs help protect your lungs and heart. To all the flat bones working their hardest to protect us, we salute you. The second type of bone we're going to talk about is our long bones. You know that one friend who is loyal, reliable, and always there to support you? Those are the long bones. These bones are found from head to toe. Well, actually from arm to toe to be precise. Long bones make up your arms, legs, hands, and feet, including bones like your humerus, femur, and all of your little phalanges and metacarpals. Long bones, which are characteristically longer than they are wide, allow you to stand or move like dancing or running. Now, 2 thumbs up for the long bones. We couldn't do it without you. Literally. Moving on from the long bones, in third place we have the short bones. Short bones are, well, short. A defining feature of these small bones is that they're as short as they are wide. Perhaps calling them cube bones would be more appropriate. Remind me to start that petition later. These bones also play a massive supportive and stabilizing role. The carpals in your wrists and tarsals in your ankles are all short bones, and without them, you'd never stand a chance. Without the short and stout scaphoid or calcaneus, how else could we give a standing ovation for the short bones? Hint? We couldn't. Fourth up, we have the sesamoid bones, perhaps the most straightforward of all the types of bones. Sesamoid bones have one main job: improve muscle movement. How does a small circle or oval-shaped bone do that, you might ask? Sesamoid bones are characteristically located within tendons. By changing the pull of the tendons attached to them, sesamoid bones can directly affect the related muscles. And these bones also have a protective role, but only of the tendons attached to them. Sesamoid bones protect from physical stress on the tendons. One example of a sesamoid bone is your patella, which is actually sort of heart-shaped. We patella you, sesamoid bones. Thanks for tending to us so well. Fifth and final in the roster, we have the irregular bones. Perhaps the most aptly named bones in our complex bodies. Unlike the long bones, short bones, or even the sesamoid bones, irregular bones have no defining features other than being weird. However, much like flat bones, irregular bones help protect vital organs, including one of the most vital of them all, your spinal cord. Oh yeah. Vertebrae are all irregularly shaped and even have variation among the vertebral column. There are actually 5 different types of vertebrae, and one even looks like a happy face. Bones are definitely not as straightforward as the simple 2-dimensional club-shaped cartoon bones we're so familiar with, but they're definitely cooler. After all, can you name any other structure that protects, supports, moves, grows, and makes us who we are? To be honest, I can't either. Click on the next video to continue learning more about the human body. Like the video if you want to see more of these on this channel, and subscribe if you don't want to miss the next upload. I will see you next time.